What's up, everybody? I'm Pastor Rob, and this is 5 Minute Church. All right, 5 Minute Church, we're continuing in our series Gifts through the month of December, and today I want to talk to you about envying people's gifts. Envying people's gifts. James chapter 3 says this: "Who is wise and understanding among you? Let them show it by their good life, by deeds done in humility that comes from wisdom. But if you harbor bitter envy and selfish ambition in your heart, do not boast about it or deny the truth. Such wisdom does not come from heaven, but is earthly, unspiritual, and demonic. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice. For where you have envy and selfish ambition, there you find disorder and every evil practice." I don't know about you, but for me, I spent a lot of my life trying to be other people. Looking around as a pastor and going, man, I'm not as gifted as they are. I wish I had what they had. I worked at a fairly large church called North Coast, and all throughout this church, there were amazing communicators. And at the very top, some of the best communicators in the world. There was Larry Osborne, who just always had nuggets of wisdom. There was Chris Brown, who could tell a story and just captivate you by it. There was Chris Hilkin, who just felt like he had 100 books memorized at a time and was just so smart. And as a pastor, I would look at that and I would go, am I actually a good communicator? It would make me question my own gifts. And I remember early on in ministry, there would be times where I would preach a message and it wasn't a Rob Morace message. It was a message by somebody else. It was a Chris Brown message or a Stephen Furtick message or a Larry Osborne message. And I felt God at one point clearly going, I can't use that. I won't use that. It's not you. And I created you. And I remember when God finally just kind of shone a light on who I was and going, you have the gift of empathy. You have a gift of a testimony that students connect with. I created Rob to be Rob. And I remember when I finally started living in my own gifts and I started being comfortable in my own skin and I started being confident in who God made me to be, ministry absolutely took off. God started using it in ways that I couldn't even fathom. Romans chapter 10 will tell us that, "For by the grace given me, I say to every one of you, do not think of yourself more highly than you ought to, but rather think of yourself with sober judgment in accordance with the faith God has distributed to you. For just as each of us has one body with many members, and these members do not all have the same function, so in Christ we, though many, form one body, and each member belongs to the other, we have different gifts according to the grace given to each of us. If your gift is prophesying, then prophesy. If it is serving, then serve. If it is teaching, then teach. If it is to encourage, then give encouragement. If it is giving, then give generously. If it is to lead, then do it diligently. If it is to show mercy, then do it cheerfully." We have all been gifted in different ways. And church, the question isn't, do you have a gift? The question is, are you content with it and are you using it? And for a lot of us, our greatest struggle is not that we're not gifted, it's that we look around and we see other people and we want what they have. We want their financial situation, we want their friendships, we want their ability to tell stories, we want their ability to talk to people, we want their outgoing personality. And we can spend so much of our life missing out on our purpose simply because we think we're not good enough. And I believe that God is telling you to look in the mirror and to go, I am perfect in the way that I was made. The gifts that I have and the way that I was created, I don't need to envy anybody else. I simply just need to put my gifts into action and God will honor it. And so church, that's my challenge for you this week. How are you gifted? What has God given you? What do people say about you in the sense of how you were created? And put it into action. And stop worrying about other people and stop worrying how other people are created and stop envying other people and simply just live in your gifts, run in your gifts, live in your gifts. And I promise you, God will honor it and God will use you to advance his kingdom. That's my challenge. Love you guys. That was 5 Minute Church.